local bank. Look for an offer in the mail or pick up an application at a Shell station near you.
This is a Fox Sports presentation.
Fox is doing fine. It's Cup time.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on Fox. The Broadway Blue Shirts take their 3-1 lead into Quebec, hoping to close down, Les Nordiques. The Rangers have awakened from their long winter hibernation, and it looks like Mess, Leach, Graves, and Larmer will have plenty left from their season-long nap. But Quebec still has some pop. Ugh. Just ask Jeff Bookaboo. Joe Sakic, Wendell Clark, and the rest of them Nords may be packing for Denver, looking for a little Rocky Mountain High.
It's Cup time.
Detroit's got a 3-0 lead, and it's time for another road trip down to the Big D. And the Red Wings are trying to shoot out the lights down in the Lone Star State. Sergei's got something to say. The engine's running just fine this year. Dallas's Andy Moog will be stopping as many bullets as he can, but he'll need a lot of help from Hatcher and Harvey if those Stars are going to live to fight another day.
It's Cup time.
Washington rolls into Steel Town, looking to inflict capital punishment on the Penguins. Peter Bondra and Dale Hunter are putting holes in the igloo because it's duck season. Penguin season.
It's Cup time.
Jaromir Jagr. Jaromir Jagr. You know, the dude with the cool name. He ain't doing fine. Woo-woo-woo-woo. You know what I mean. He's hoping his birds can still fly. But Jim Carrey's looking to keep Jagr's Penguins on ice for year number 2.
It's Cup time.
Bummed out Buffalo returns to Philadelphia, desperately fighting off playoff elimination. The Sabres need the Dominator to live up to his name. And to stay alive, they'll need Mogilny and LaFontaine to light the Legion's lamp.
Fox is doing fine. It's Cup time.
Suddenly the plot thickens in Toronto. The Blackhawks said they were not done yet, beating the Maple Leafs 3-1 as Dennis Savard gets the assist on that goal by Murray Craven. Series tied at 2. The home team has lost every game. Same scenario with Calgary and San Jose. Theo Fleury scored 4 times, including this breakaway, helping the Flames to tie the series at 2. Calgary hasn't advanced to the second round this decade. Take a look at this hit. Vancouver's Trevor Linden on the Blues' Jeff Norton. What a hit. Thank goodness no one was hurt. That is just the plexiglass. Maybe the hit inspired the Blues as Brendan Shanahan gets the natural hat trick as the Blues roll over the Canucks to knot up the series at 2. They now head back to St. Louis for Game 5. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, including the Sergeant. We certainly hope that you're all being pampered today. I'm James Brown. Sitting next to me, of course, is Dave Maloney. And Dave, home ice is not an advantage to the teams out west.
Well, it's funny we should talk about home ice and going home on Mama's Day because Mama's cooking's not working out west. In the meantime, I talked to people in San Jose and Toronto. Just because they were heading home up 2 after 2, nobody thought the series was over. And it's not. I like Chicago and Calgary anyway, JB.
Some good-looking series out there indeed. Well, as for today's games, each of the first-round series on tap for you could be ended. Now, we begin our Fox Watch in Quebec, where the Rangers are looking to eliminate the East top seed, the Nordiques. Now, normally an 8 seed beating a 1 seed is a huge upset, but as John Davidson tells us, this series is an exception.
All right, thanks very much, James. The Rangers on the verge of knocking Quebec out of the playoffs. They do lead at 3-1, and they want to win this afternoon simply because they could use some rest. It's been an extremely physical series. Wendell Clark on Zubov. Here you see Kiprios throwing a body check. It has been tough. It's been hard. Kovalov has been a target, yet he leads the team in scoring. Jeff Bookaboo, because of that hit, will not play this afternoon. He is suffering from a slight concussion. Another big story is Mike Richter. He replaced Glenn Healy after the first period of Game 4. Was outstanding. Stopped all 21 shots. Again, does get the call this afternoon. For more on the playoffs, let's go to Pittsburgh and my good friend Dennis Potvin.
Thank you, JD. Here in Pittsburgh, the question is, will the curtain finally fall on a superb playoff run? Pittsburgh Penguins down 3-1. needs superb efforts from the following gentlemen. Jaromir Jagr, the NHL's leading scorer, has to come forward. Only 1 goal in the last 2 games. Ron Francis, the Selke candidate. 48 assists throughout the National Hockey League season, and he leads in that department. He's got to keep going. Ken Riggett will be in nets tonight. 25 victories. It's got to be at his best. Legendary Pittsburgh. They come out strong in the first period. We'll watch for it. Now over to you in Philadelphia, Mickey Redmond.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, if the Flyers needed a lift after losing Game 3 in Buffalo, they certainly got more than they could ask for with big number 88, Eric Lindros, playing in his first ever playoff game. He had a couple of assists, was a physical force all night long, as you see here on a check on Scott Pearson of the Buffalo Sabres. The whole Philadelphia team got a lift, obviously, from number 88 being back in the lineup. John Muckler, the coach of the Sabres, said, I can't understand why my team did not play better in Game 4. They played desperate in Game 3 and played very well, used their speed. They've got to try to do that and solve the goaltending of Ron Hextall, who's been excellent in this series. The Sabres need to play desperate today. If they don't and don't win, they're looking from the outside in. Let's go to Dallas, to Joe Micheletti.
Thank you, Mickey. Dallas faces elimination today as Detroit leads the series 3-0, and Detroit has been spectacular, particularly on the power play where they've scored 9 of 13 goals in this series. Now, Dino Ciccarelli sat out the first 2 games of the series, but he returned in high fashion in game number 3, scoring the hat trick, all 3 goals coming on the power play. Now, should Detroit win today, they'll have a week off to prepare for their second-round opponent next Sunday. Meanwhile, JB, should Dallas lose today, we'll see the first series sweep of the 1995 playoffs.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. And one other note to pass along to you. In the Capitals-Penguins series, it will be Ken Reggett in goal. That's because Tom Barrasso is still plagued with that injured wrist. And Dave, my goodness, Pittsburgh in trouble anyway. Did that just add to it?
Well, I don't think the goaltending's been the factor of this series. The factor of this series has been the fact that the Washington Capitals have outworked the Penguins, and they've gotten to the puck in more of a hurry. They're making things happen. They're on top of the Penguins. That's why they're up.
A lot of surprise guys for the Capitals stepping up. All right, folks, and we'll be back here in Hollywood before sending you out to your game in a bit.
It's cup time.
Happy Mother's Day from Fox.
Just what kind of car can you lease for $199 a month with $1,000 down? Lease a Geo Prism. It's a car Consumers Digest selected as a best buy for $1995. And for $199 a month and $1,000 down, it's a car with dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and more. Get to know Geo Prism. Lease one today for only $199 a month with $1,000 down. See your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Hello, this is John. Calling from Ameritech.
Oh, darling, are you?
We know some people confuse us with AT&T.
Oh, darling, do you?
We want everyone to know we're separate companies.
So do I.
Because communications are changing fast, and we want to avoid confusion.
So do I.
We're sorry our phone books are so heavy.
Of course, I forgive you. Johnny.
Ameritech, your link to better communication.
I'm Brian Harris, and this is my wife, Rhonda. My doctor says I'm doing great, and he told me in Kiswahili to live and be well. The Wellness Plan wants you to be well, too. That's why they have only the highest quality healthcare professionals, and they work very hard to keep those standards high.
Nakutakia maisha mema pamoja na afya nzuri.
Live and be well. Call the Wellness Plan today, an HMO that's good for you.
For the wildest, sexiest, most dangerous magic show ever.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Rudy Kobe, the coolest magician on earth, next Sunday.
Adventurous nature lover seeks outdoor type for getaway weekends. Must like camping and hiking. Interest in kayaking a plus. Ownership of Jeep Cherokee a definite plus. Social climbing highbrows need not apply. P.S. Please send picture of Jeep Cherokee.
It comes from the foothills of the Great Cascades, a creation the world has never seen before. Introducing our new 777. Huge, astonishing, yet invitingly comfortable. It communicates in surprising ways and opens itself wide to be explored. Oh, it's more than a big foot forward. It's revolutionary. The 777, co-designed by the employee owners of United. Because we don't just work here.
I'm 54 years old, and I still eat Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes cereal is just for kids.
I eat them, and I love them. There. What's so hard about that? This is only going to be seen late at night, right? Oops.
Dolores, has anybody seen Dolores? Oh, never mind.
The sweet crunch of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
I love him. Don't you just love him?
As we, the class of '95, rise to the challenge of a new day, our achievements will not be tainted by the smell of corruption. We will find bold new solutions that will not only ensure a clean start, but will also, ever so softly, serve notice that we are not a generation of slackers. We are the future, and we've come for what's ours.
And we'll keep you updated throughout the day on all the Stanley Cup playoff action happening around the country. But now it's off to Reunion Arena, where the Red Wings are looking for the sweep and their first foray into the second round in 3 years. Dave Strader and Joe Micheletti have the call.
Bob Gainey, head coach of the Dallas Stars, has seen just about everything the Red Wings can throw at his team as Detroit has built a commanding 3-0 lead in this first-round playoff series. A loss for Gainey's club means their summer vacation begins tomorrow, and the Octopus will continue on as the Wings' symbol for playoff success. This afternoon, we bring you Game 4 of the Western Conference quarterfinals as the Dallas Stars play host to the Detroit Red Wings. Well, I suppose if you're on the team that's trailing 3-0, this game here this afternoon is no laughing matter. Hi, everybody. Dave Strader along with Joe Micheletti, and a special happy Mother's Day to all the moms joining us here on Fox NHL Sunday. Of course, Joe, the Red Wing players, coaches, and fans have waited over a year to redeem themselves for that embarrassing first-round elimination to the San Jose Sharks last spring. The biggest reason they're in a position to do it in only 4 games has been their power play.
Yeah, 9 of 13 goals that have been scored by Detroit have been on the power play. Now, Dino Ciccarelli sat out the first 2 games with a knee injury. He came back in Game 3 and scored 3 goals, all on the power play.
For the Dallas Stars, Bob Gainey says our task is simple. Win a game here this afternoon, force a Game 5 in Detroit tomorrow night. They may have to condense it more than that, Joe, and just try to win 1 period.
I think they're going to have to win 1 shift. That's the way it's been in this series. They've got to come out and start playing hard from the first whistle, and they have to get more production out of some of their top players.
Bob Gainey sporting a black eye from his collision in the game day skate earlier this week with Gord Donnelly, who is not dressed this afternoon, as we take a look at the goaltending matchup, the same matchup we've had for all but 20 minutes of the first 3 games of this series. Andy Moog making his 115th Stanley Cup playoff appearance. That ties him with the legendary Glenn Hall for 3rd on the all-time playoff list for games played. And this guy's no stranger to playoff action either. This afternoon making his 85th appearance. And Joe, Mike Vernon, like the Detroit Red Wings, trying to get out of the first round. Mike Vernon has not done that since he led the Calgary Flames to a Stanley Cup in 1989, and this guy is no stranger to Stanley Cup championship.
No, 6 Stanley Cup victories for Scotty Bowman, and he's put together quite the team in Detroit. They have a little bit of everything. They can score goals. They've played terrific defense all season long, and the missing link that people have talked about the last few years, a goaltender. They acquired that in Mike Vernon, and he has been terrific here in the first 3 games.
Well, Mike Vernon has been a missing link, but 3 of the 5 guys starting for the Red Wings, Joe, also have been additions since that playoff elimination. Fetisov and Rouse, the defense pair, and Bob Airey on the left side with Yzerman and McCarty, as Evison, Broughton, and Greg Adams start against the Yzerman line for Bob Gainey's Dallas Stars. We're underway, Game 4. The Dallas Stars trying to win and force a Game 5 at Joe Louis Arena tomorrow night. The Red Wings, as Joe pointed out at the top of the show, with a victory here this afternoon, will have a week off to prepare for Game 1 next Sunday at Joe Louis, as this play is offside at the Dallas Stars blue line.
Well, this series, as we talked about, the power play has been extremely important for the Detroit Red Wings, scoring the 9 power play goals in the first 3 games. But I think the other thing that has happened is they've been able to come out and take a quick early lead on Dallas. Dallas has had trouble scoring goals Paul Coffey has been outstanding, not only offensively leading this team in playoff points, but defensively as well. By taking the early lead, Detroit has been able to go back in their defensive mode and make things very difficult on Dallas.
Well, game one of this series, which we had right here on Fox last Sunday, of course, the Red Wings didn't score until 7 minutes in, but several of the other periods, the Red Wings have managed to score in the first 2 to 3 minutes, and that's something the coaches like to avoid. Here is Zary deep in the Dallas zone, taking a bump from Paul Cavallini. Now McCarty trying to dig it out of there, getting some help from Yzerman. The Red Wing captain goes to Bob Airy. His shot is blocked by Ludwig. It comes to Trent Platt. He bumps leg to leg with Fetisov. And Donnelly rolled it into the Detroit zone. A delayed offside here, and as the Stars touch it, we'll get a whistle for an offside. We take a look at how the series has gone. Of course, the Dallas Stars were close on the scoreboard in game one, but Bob Gainey said anybody that knows hockey that watched that game realizes that the Dallas Stars really weren't in it, and the scores of game 2 and 3 probably more indicative of how this whole series has gone, Joe.
And again, even though Vernon hasn't been tested all that much, Bob Gainey has really had to try and find a way to get this team together. There's no question that they are overmatched in talent, but it's been a hard-working team, and I would expect that today out of the Stars.
Well, the Red Wing coaches feel the first 5 to 10 minutes very important when the Stars will probably try to come out and throw everything at them, but it's a fine line between playing physical and not taking the unnecessary penalties that have put the Stars short-handed. Here's Matvichuk, lead pass. Kennedy is open. He's in on Vernon. Goes to the backhand and fired it wide. A Red Wing player did get back to get a piece of Kennedy, but a great scoring chance for the Dallas Stars in the first minute and a half of this first period. Vernon steers it ahead now. Kozlov plays it off the boards. Nice play there. Fedorov springs Coffey. And Doug Brown on a 2-on-1. Coffey looks, sends it across, deflected right on, moves the save, and the puck is cleared by Gagne. So the Red Wings come right back with a great chance of their own. Gagne to Harvey. Taps it into the Detroit zone, and the Wings coming back.
Bob Gainey said he wanted his team to stay close to Paul Coffey. Not only him, but to watch the late man, and Coffey saw the opportunity, just took off on the play, and again, Detroit nearly scores an early goal.
Great communication because Kozlov made the little tip pass to Spring Coffey with a 2-on-1 with Doug Brown. Konstantinov back deep in his own zone around for Cicerelli. He is run into hard by Shane Churla, unquestionably the most popular player in this reunion arena. Shane Churla will just have to be careful not to take any bad penalties. He took a couple, and of course, the Red Wings scored 4 power play goals in game number 3. Here on Thursday night. This is Mike Lawler, his second appearance in this series, replacing Grant Ledyard, who is out with the flu. Vernon sets it up behind his own net.
The other thing Detroit has been in this series, very disciplined. They have let the Dallas Stars take the bad penalties, and they have capitalized on the power play.
Center ice now, Primo. Sends it ahead. This is Ray Shepard, top of the circle. Lets the shot go. Moog had a good look at that. Makes the easy stop. And now Dean Evison up the left side. This is Greg Adams streaking. Gets the shot away, bounced it wide. That puck was on edge. As Evison will roll it back deep into the wing zone. Fetisov is there. Slava Fetisov has checked off the puck. The Stars with some pressure in the Detroit zone. Something they have not been able to do, Joe, with any consistency. Very rarely getting sustained pressure as they tie it up now along the wall for a faceoff.
Well, Bob Gainey is also the general manager of the Dallas Stars, and he is going to make a decision at the end of the year whether to remain as coach and GM.
In the middle of my workday, I don't do power lunches. I do power lifts. And when you work out this hard, better use a deodorant that works hard too and never quits. That's why I use Speed Stick. It gives me 110% protection that lasts all day. And fortunately, all night. Because while I may not have time for lunches, I always manage to find some time for dinner.
Speed Stick, like you, it never quits.
I'm in.
Well, I think the one thing that we haven't been able to do is stay away from the penalty box. That was one of our goals before the series started because we know that they have a lot of talent. That hasn't been the case at all. We've taken a lot of penalties, and they're 50% on the power play has killed us basically. And I think 5-on-5 we'd have a lot better chance against them. And today we're going to have to really focus on that.
Play deep in the Detroit zone, and now the puck out of play.
And even though Detroit has had all the success on the power play, the other problem with Dallas is that they have only scored 2 even strength goals. So not only are they going to have to stay out of the penalty box, but at the same time they're going to have to try and generate some offense, and they've done that thus far in the early going. We saw Kennedy have an early chance, and he just shot the puck wide, and another chance by Dallas was also shot wide. So they've got to get the puck on net and try and get someone in front of Mike Vernon.
Face off to the right of Mike Vernon. Get an idea of the angle he's trying to play. And the draw controlled by Millen. Back to the point. Lawler's high shot missed the net. Racing after it. Fetisov gets there. He'll take a hit from Mike Donnelly, but gets it center ice for McCarty. McCarty's lead pass for Bob Airy, chasing Lawler to the corner. Airy with a hit goes down, and here is Corey Millen, a late season acquisition from the New Jersey Devils. He is dumped hard by Darren McCarty. Now Smolik sends it into the Detroit zone. Getting back was Rouse and McCarty. The puck still loose in the corner. Clack sends it out to the line. Held in by Lawler. No, it came outside the line. And the linesman right there to make the call.
Detroit defensively will be conservative when the other team has control of the puck. If they don't, they'll be aggressive on the forecheck. Here we see Bob Airy going in. He's the first man in. Does a good job taking the man. You see the second Detroit player jump right in right away. They're trying to hopefully get Dallas to turn the puck over in their zone.
Of course, Bob Airy came to the Red Wings from the San Jose Sharks. He was captain of that team. There were some problems out there with Coach Kevin Constantine and the way that he wanted to play. The management wanted to play the younger guys, and it's hard to argue with the Sharks' early success, getting up 2-0 on Calgary, although the Flames have come back to tie that series. But Bob Airy, a big addition to this Red Wing team.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier some of the other additions to the team as well. They signed some free agents, and despite Mike Vernon, they've also added players that know how to play defensive type hockey, and that is playoff hockey.
Good hustle there by McCarty and Airy as they negated what would have been an icing call against the Wings. Now the Stars from deep in their own zone, up the right wing side for Todd Harvey. A great-looking first-year pro for the Dallas Stars. He'll have a long career, it looks like, in the National Hockey League. Here is Paul Coffey. Puck deflects, and it comes to Yzerman. He lost control. Airy plays it back to the Red Wing captain. Yzerman with the angle on Matvichuk. Fires a shot. Save made by Moog. And the rebound is cleared to the board. Now back behind the Dallas goal. Matvichuk is checked there by Doug Brown. Brown working out to the hash mark. Sends it across, looking for Kozlov, who had just come off the bench. Intercepted by Kennedy. Mike Kennedy, who had one of the Dallas scoring chances earlier in the hockey game, sends it in wide of the Detroit goal, and Kozlov starts it back. We've played nearly 5 minutes of game 4. Still no score. Here is Kozlov. Nifty move there on Gilchrist. Drives a shot that's blocked. Right back to him again, and Moog the save.
Terrific defensive play by Craig Ludwig to block the shot, but he's hurt on the play, and he's limping to the Dallas bench now. Craig Ludwig, one of the best shot blockers in all of the National Hockey League, went down, looked like he took the shot on the side of the foot or the ankle, and he had a difficult time. He is so quick at going down, and his timing is just perfect. Kozlov with the shot. There goes Ludwig bending down. You could see he was turned sideways, and it looked like the shot caught him on the side of the ankle. He stayed down for a while and then was able to make his way to the Dallas bench. Detroit, offensively, they're terrific, but defensively, here they are. Look at all the players back, and they're all back, and when Dallas tries to move the puck out, there they are, 4 players in the neutral zone. That makes it very difficult for the Dallas players to pick up the puck with them coming back. They've done it all season long, Dave.
And they came very close to leading the National Hockey League in goals against, finishing second only to the Chicago Blackhawks. As Scotty Bowman said, their goal was to finish in the top third defensively after finishing 16th in goals against in the 93-94 season. Here's Sergei Fedorov now out there with Kozlov and Brown. Fedorov, speed pass for Kozlov, a backhander, went right through the goal mouth. Now Ramsey holds it in. Back behind the Dallas net. A scramble there. Matvichuk doing a good job on Brown. A steal by Fedorov. Centers off the Dallas player. Moog made a great save on a puck that appeared to deflect off of Kevin Hatcher. Now you got Matvichuk roughing up Doug Brown. The referee, Terry Gregson, unable to do anything about that because he's paying attention to Slava Kozlov. And another Dallas player.
Detroit is so dangerous when they have the puck and they start moving it around. Andy Moog, the Dallas goaltender, is looking at the other player. The puck actually deflected off his own defenseman in front, and Moog had to be extremely quick. Matt Tkachuk from behind the net tries to take Brown out of the play, gets his stick up a couple of times. Brown also fighting for position. The referee, Terry Gregson, was off to the side. He was watching all this. He understands the importance of this game, especially for Dallas, and he's going to let these two teams play and play physical here early.
Well, he called only one penalty. I thought we were going to have matching minors, but it's only Dean Evason going for roughing up Slava Kozlov. So the Dallas Stars, who would like to score the first goal, they have not had a lead yet in this series, find themselves having to face this Red Wing power play that we've talked about. 9 for 18 in the series. And Joe, during the regular season when the Red Wings were 5-0 against the Dallas Stars, the Wings on the power play were 7 for 21. So they have just continued to roll against this Dallas penalty killing unit.
And the player to watch around the net is Dino Ciccarelli. He'll be around the net. Coffey and Lidstrom from the points. If they can take the shots, they will, but they'll look for Ciccarelli along the side of the net, and they'll try and slide the puck to him.
So the Red Wings on the power play. No score, 14-10 remaining in the first.
Alpha 1 is Alpha 2. Enemy squad in open. Moving north on foot.
Sergeant, here's the latest intelligence report.
I'll post it right away, Sergeant. Sir, enemy position is confirmed at Papa.
Step off.
Army Reserve, Montgomery GI Bill, skill training and more.
When the draw, Coffey shot is stopped. A rebound chance for Primo, deflected before it got to Andy Moog. Red Wings working on the first power play of this hockey game. No score, just over 6 minutes in. Now the puck off the glove of Primo, and it's backhanded by Ludwig. So he felt the effects of blocking a Kozlov shot, and he's right back out there.
And what happens is Dallas tries to be very aggressive on the puck, but with the way Detroit has been moving the puck, it makes it tough for the penalty killing unit. They get themselves out of position, and if you move it with a couple of quick passes, you'll get a scoring chance.
Primo has 2 stars on him this time, and Gilchrist able to backhand it down into the Red Wing zone. Vernon leaves it behind the net, and Lidstrom now. Backhand pass for Fedorov. Fedorov into the Stars zone. Holds up now at the top of the circle. Back for Lidstrom. Lidstrom sends it toward the net. Backhanded by Ciccarelli, who got a stick on it. Paul Broughton clears here, but too far out in front of Mike Donnelly to get a shorthanded chance. 50 seconds, Joe, left in the Evason penalty.
Pardon me, Dave, but also a nice defensive play in front of the net. Kevin Hatcher went down to block the shot of Ciccarelli.
Now here is Yzerman. Behind the Dallas net, he has area in front. It goes now to Fedorov. Fedorov at the hash mark. Sends it out to the line. Fetisov open, settles the puck down, a high shot. Sailed over top of the net. Here is Fedorov to Coffey. Coffey looking across. Goes along the boards instead. Now out to Fetisov. A shot stopped by Moog, and the rebound overskated by Yzerman. Yzerman plays it along the boards. Less than 20 seconds remaining in the Dallas penalty. Fedorov still has it to the corner for Yzerman. He sends it out front for Fetisov. Tees it up. The shot was blocked by Hatcher, who went down. There he goes back to the line. Fetisov has it there. He winds up, drives a shot that was blocked, and the Stars get it to Paul Broughton. And he will clear it down the ice, and Dean Evason steps out. So a moral victory, if nothing else, Joe, for the Dallas Stars.
That's an excellent effort by the Stars. Detroit was moving the puck well, and Dallas was stopping. They were going after the puck. They were blocking shots, deflecting passes, and a good job of penalty killing.
Crowd reacts to Darren McCarty being dumped center ice by Mike Lawler. Now Konstantinov just avoided a Trent Platt elbow as the puck is driven back behind the Dallas net. Lawler has it there. Mike Lawler acquired last season from the San Jose Sharks, and Sean Burr intercepts a pass intended there for Trent Platt. And it's dumped back into the Dallas zone. 11:35 left here in the first period. No score. Game 4 of the Western Conference quarterfinals. And here is Draper being roughed up in the corner by Smolik. McCarty moves in there. McCarty tried to step around Corey Millen, put it right through the goal mouth, and Konstantinov now at the right point will hold it in. Back behind the Dallas net. Along the boards, waiting for it now is Platt to try to clear, and he does force it by Ramsey. And the Stars try to go on the attack. It's deflected by Donnelly deep into the wing zone. No icing here as Mike Ramsey back to get it. Ramsey just avoided most of that Shane Churla Attempted check. Now Matt Tkachuk gets it to Churla center ice. Churla backhands it into the Detroit zone as we approach the halfway mark of this first period. Zach Boyer, number 37, just called up from Kalamazoo, playing in his first ever NHL game, let alone playoff game. Hatcher pinches in to get the big hit on Kozlov. He took a gamble and got away with it, but now Primo comes out. He's got Kozlov up the left side and put the pass behind him, and that's going to be an icing call with the touch-up by Kevin Hatcher.
Dallas playing physical when they get a chance, but Detroit is holding on.
Even the most remote areas of the country can now be reached at the following number.
Proper etiquette begins at breakfast. We pour the cereal, we select the spoon, chin up, and... very good. Now let's move along to... No, let's try that again.
The problem with a cereal that's made like popcorn, only sweeter,
Some prefer the shovel method.
is that it disappears like popcorn, only faster.
Any questions?
Kellogg's Corn Pops. It's hard to stop when it's Pops.
Head and Shoulders is now new Head & Shoulders with Micro D. Better on the outside, better on the inside.
Yes, Mike Modano was out on the miss him, but there's 3 players on this list that have scored 30 or more goals in a season, including Gagne, who has done it several times, and Greg Adams. As we have a delayed penalty here coming up against Detroit. Lawler drives a shot deflected to the corner, and on the touch-up by Primo, the penalty call will be made, but the Dallas Stars, in the absence of Mike Modano and Derian Hatcher, not getting it done with the other guys that are capable offensive players.
Well, a couple of reasons why. First, Mike Vernon has been able to make the big saves when he's been called on in this series. And the second thing is they've been missing the net. We saw that early in this first period. 2 good scoring chances, but both missed the net. Now the Stars will get an opportunity as they go on the power play. There's Mike Modano. As we get a chance to look at him, he is out for the season and should be back and should be okay for the start of next season.
He was telling us the other day that he expects to be on skates in July.
And in front of the net, Bob Rouse, number 3 in Detroit, takes down Brent Gilchrist, and that's an interference call and puts Dallas on the power play.
Well, the Red Wings have 6 shots on goal. Mike Vernon here in nearly 10 minutes has not faced a shot yet. Believe it or not, both teams have had the same number of power play chances in this series coming in. Both have 18, but the Red Wings by far more efficient, 9 for 18 versus the Dallas Stars just 2 for 18. Here is Kevin Hatcher now, driving it deep in behind Vernon, who was able to slow it down but not completely control it. Todd Harvey rolls it to the corner. Adams, he had Gagne behind a couple of Red Wing players, but an alert play by Fedorov. He saw the pass coming and clears it back into the Dallas zone. Here comes Kevin Hatcher, who had a breakaway early in game number 3 and barely even got a shot on goal. A couple of players collide here at the Detroit blue line. That allowed the Wings to clear center ice, and Yzerman rolls it back deep into the Dallas zone. We passed the halfway mark of the first period. Stars on the power play, no score.
And Kevin Hatcher, a real key on this power play for Dallas. With the way Detroit plays aggressively, killing these penalties, they'll have all 4 players in deep. Kevin Hatcher has to sneak in from the point and get a chance.
Bob Airy just did a great job drawing a penalty here, but there's 3 other games going on in the National Hockey League, all in the Eastern Conference. Let's get an update from James Brown on Quebec and the Rangers.
All right, Dave, a hotly contested one. Quebec in white. Take a look at Wendell Clark, bottom right. Nice pass to Mike Ricci. He bangs in his first career playoff goal to make it 1-0 Nordiques. Rangers answer back. Messier in heavy traffic scores on a rebound of Sergei Zubov's shot. They now are tied at 1 apiece. Back to Dallas, Dave and Joe.
All right, thank you, JB. And watch what Bob Airy does here to help the call. This is the collision just prior to the penalty, and Airy, looking to clear it just after that, went toward the boards and left his feet even before Todd Harvey made contact with him. And the interference call was made.
Boy, and that's something that certainly Dallas doesn't need at this point. They only spent a minute and 1 second on the power play. Now we'll have 4-on-4, which is a disadvantage for Dallas. With all the talent on Detroit, they have the advantage on the 4-on-4, and then they'll have another minute on the power play.
9:15 remaining in the first. No score as Evason sends it to Adams. He gets behind. Lidstrom didn't get much of a shot away as Lidstrom hooks him effectively in front. They score! Vernon was looking to his left, and the puck came out to Greg Adams. An advantage on paper might be Red Wings 4-on-4, but the Dallas Stars get the job done to take their first lead in this series.
Well, Dean Evason from behind the net. The first chance will be by Adams. Now, good job by Lidstrom, number 5. He kind of interferes with him, and it's difficult to get the shot off, but Evason, very quick on the puck, goes behind the net, and all alone in front is Adams, who just stayed there. Gets the first shot off. Now, Vernon thinks it's coming the other way. What a pass back the other way from Dean Evason. Vernon looking to his left. Adams just going the other way with it. Vernon doesn't have a chance, right through the legs. And for the first time in this series, Dallas scores first, and they lead it 1-0.
Well, Greg Adams, one of the guys that we showed on that graphic a few moments ago, capable offensive player, 4 times over 30 goals in his career, mainly with the Vancouver Canucks, and he gets his first of the series.
And that's what they expected from Adams when they traded Russ Courtnall at the trade deadline, who was also a good offensive player, and they wanted Adams. Now, he had spent most of the time on the 4th line when he first came over. That's a big goal for Dallas, though, to start this game.
Now for Paul Broughton at center ice. It sailed by him. It'll be icing if the Wings get back to touch it, and Paul Coffey turns around to touch it in front of Paul Broughton. Evason and Paul Cavallini assisting on the goal by Adams. Stars with a 1-0 lead.
It's coming. To take cold. To take taste. To take smooth. To the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice. Now brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
When the bear comes out of hibernation, motor skills are awkward. He is bad-tempered. He hears little, sees less, but his sense of smell remains keen. The bear sniffs. The refreshing scent of Coast revives him. Massive lather engulfs him, after which he becomes friendly and playful and can learn to do tricks. Coast, the eye-opener.
The Simpsons declare war on a rival town on a brand new episode. Part of the Simpsons Marathon tonight.
The goal by Greg Adams has to give the Dallas players a huge lift, giving them a 1-0 lead. We talked at the outset, they have to come out and win a few shifts. Well, they've won their fair share here in this first period.
They lead at 1-0. Still 4 skaters aside. In 14 seconds, Bob Rouse will come out to give the Red Wings about a minute of Evason, who made the nice play on the Adams goal, dumping it behind Vernon. Bouncing puck, Evason, big hit on Fetisov. Here is Fedorov, being forced back by Brent Gilchrist. Sergei Fedorov going back to the regular season, just 1 goal the last 15 games. Coffey on the move around Molik. Backhand shot, mowed the save. Here is Molik from behind the net, able to clear as the Red Wings now have the 5-on-4 skating advantage. Just over 40 seconds left in the Todd Harvey penalty. A steal by Gilchrist. Looking for some help. Gilchrist, tough angle, doesn't have a shot. He'll just kill some more valuable time on that Harvey penalty, and the Red Wings will need another 10 or 15 seconds to get it up into the Stars zone. Fedorov sends it to the left of Moe. Trying to fight through with Ciccarelli. Stars try to clear. Ciccarelli blocks it on the wall. Back behind the net for Yzerman. Good job by Yzerman to knock down the puck for Fetisov. He sent it across looking for Fedorov. All the way to Ciccarelli in the corner. Intercepted by Kevin Hatcher. He finds an opening and clears it. Now that's going to about do it. Just 7 seconds left in the Harvey penalty. Fetisov all the way to Coffey center ice off the tip of his stick. And the Dallas Stars penalty killers 2 for 2. Here's Todd Harvey into the zone with Kennedy. From the faceoff down, the shot was blocked. It comes right back down to Gagne. In front for Harvey, a shot blocked, and it's cleared to the boards by Konstantinov. Now Gagne in deep for Harvey. He's wrapped up by Ramsey, who played him well. And now Primo trying to come out, and Konstantinov got tied up with Mike Kennedy. And it's either interference or holding. It looks like a holding call by Terry Gregson.
This has been quite the start for Dallas. 7:02 to go in this first period. And they have killed off a couple of power play opportunities by Detroit. But in previous games, they have missed a number of other opportunities. Sometimes it's because of the play of Mike Vernon. Other times it's because shots have gone in off the post. And then they've just simply missed. And that's been the frustration of the Dallas Stars in this series. But thus far in the first period, things have gone a little differently.
Well, the Dallas Stars, a very proud bunch. Dave Gagne talked about that in the paper today. But if you're not going to get a lot of chances, and you look here, the coaching staffs will look, as you know, Joe, at quality chances more than shots on goal to get a real indication of how their clubs are playing offensively or defensively. 50-28, that means the Stars are getting less than 10 a game. That's a good barometer of the defensive play of the Wings. But if you're going to get that few chances from the Dallas Stars perspective, you have to capitalize. And right here, an opportunity shorthanded for Draper, a workhorse on the penalty-killing unit, and the save by Moe. Now here is Gagne up the left side, stripped away by Rouse. Lidstrom behind the net, had it come off of his stick. Greg Adams, who has the only goal of the game so far. Back to Matvichuk, and it bounced outside the zone. John Bird trying to pick his pocket at center ice.
And Dave, you could see Matvichuk, he was so anxious to shoot the puck on the net that he just lost control of it.
Adams back to the trailer, Kevin Hatcher. 6:25 left in the first. Minute 20 left in the Konstantinov penalty. Out to the line for Matvichuk. He gets it back down to Gagne. Gagne, cross-ice pass, played off the boards. Hatcher, tough angle, still forced Vernon to make the save. Now behind the net, the Stars pressuring the Wings. Gagne out to the line, Matvichuk. His shot blocked by Burr, who timed it perfectly. Gagne, cross-ice now. Hatcher fakes the shot, goes back to Matvichuk. Back to Hatcher, a one-timer score! That bounced off of somebody in front. And Mike Vernon upset, but the Dallas Stars on the power play take a 2-0 lead.
Wonderful passing by the Stars. They move it back and forth. And then the long shot in front is Greg Adams, who scored the first one. I believe it was Adams, number 23, that deflected the shot in. We talked about getting in front of Vernon. Adams was there. It looked like he was able to get a piece of it. The puck went down through the legs of Vernon and past him. There's Adams in front. Vernon seemed to get a piece of it. And in any case, it trickles behind him. And Dallas leads this game 2-0. That's a power play goal. Excellent passing by the Dallas Stars, moving the puck quick before Detroit could put pressure on the puck and then taking the shot.
They credit the goal all the way to Hatcher, with Richard Matvichuk and Dave Gagne getting the assist. So the Red Wings find themselves not only trailing for the first time, but down by 2. Yzerman looking to get it out in front. He'll drop it off for Lidstrom. Nicholas Lidstrom sends it in deep for McCarty. McCarty to Erie. His shot was blocked in front as Ludwig blocking another Detroit shot. It goes to the corner and in behind the net. Ludwig is there to tie up a Red Wing forward. Now the Stars clear it around. Mike Donnelly tries to clear, and Corey Millen will get it to center ice. It's off the skate of McCarty and right to Coffey, who plays it back down for Bob Erie.
One thing Bob Gainey said about this series is the Stars have to be able to react properly because Detroit can come back in a hurry.
Coffey looking to clear. Molik unable to hold it in. 5 minutes remaining, first period. The Stars with a 2-0 lead, trying to extend the series to a 5th game tomorrow night at the Joe Louis Arena. So Kevin Hatcher, who was stopped on a breakaway in Game 3, gets his first goal of the playoffs on the power play. It's a 2-0 Stars advantage.
Why would anybody shoot like this?
When you can shoot like this.
Don't buy a camcorder until you see the Sharp View Cam.
This is great.
You don't have to take your glasses off to shoot.
I'm able to see a full screen.
I think I'll have a lot more fun with this one.
And you can play this back instantly?
Wow, this is cool. I can shoot and still see what's going on.
You just can't do anything like this with any other camcorder.
I want one.
Like we said, don't buy a camcorder until you try the Sharp ViewCam.
I don't know where this has been all my life.
This Eagle Vision features traction control.
Other cars have that.
Speed-sensitive steering.
Other cars have that too.
Anti-lock brakes.
That too.
Look, why don't you take it for a ride, smart guy?
Hey, it's Mr. Smart Guy and his Eagle Vision.
Still think it's a lot like other cars?
Yep.
Really? Which ones?
Lexus, BMW, Acura.
Smart guy. Hey, you don't know a three-letter word for pork belly, do you?
Get up to $1,850 off Eagle Vision during the National Eagle Sale going on now at your Eagle dealer.
Why is Al bound and gagged?
Were you robbed? No, Kathy Ireland came in here and tied me up. We had wild sex all night.
Don't miss a brand new Married with Children tonight.
Craig Ludwig had a problem earlier in the period when hit in the ankle by a shot. His ankle might be sore, but his arms are fine as he applies a little bit of a facial to the Detroit captain, Steve Yzerman.
Not the kind that Yzerman would make an appointment for at a salon, certainly.
And no charge.
Kevin Hatcher, who just scored a power play goal for the Dallas Stars to give them a 2-0 lead, sends it ahead now for Richard Matvichuk, a former first-round pick of the Stars organization when they were in Minnesota. This is the second year for the franchise in Dallas, and another near-capacity crowd here for this second playoff home game. Here is Fetisov now. Tried to send it across for Fedorov. He fanned on it. Hatcher back to get it. Of course, this game originally scheduled with the other Western Conference games last night moved to this afternoon, so Game 5 would be right back tomorrow night at Joe Louis Arena. And the Dallas Stars will just try to build on the confidence they gain shift by shift and period by period, and they've done that so far.
Yeah, thus far they've made it difficult on Detroit. They're playing a very physical game. They're not giving Detroit the type of scoring chances that they've had in previous games. They're playing good defensive sound hockey, and as we saw Ludwig behind the net, they're trying to make it tough.
Other than that early 2-on-1, Brown and Coffey, there really hasn't been much for the Wings offensively. This puck takes a strange hop off the glass. It's out to center ice. Shane Churla has it there, and Primo runs into him and knocks him headfirst into the board. Watch those two now. The mindset of both of these teams is going to be a little bit different because it's a 2-0 Dallas lead. Here is Shepard now. He'll try to send it across for Primo on the move. He's got Waller beat. He's going to catch that puck and try to move in, and it's stopped by Moog. You know that Primo wanted to get it across to the forehand, and now you got Ciccarelli battling with Smolik. Primo is in there. Lawler has a hold of him, but I think cooler heads will prevail. It's 2-0 Stars.
Hey, you get into fitness, you're likely to get into athlete's foot, and that could be tough. I mean, look at, you've got all that itching and cracking stuff, and watch this. Boom, even burning. You see that? Now, that's what you call a really tough case. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom, tough-actin Tinactin. See, Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. It's clinically proven. No wonder it's recommended by pharmacists. You got a tough case of athlete's foot? Get this. Boom. Tough-actin Tinactin.
Bob Rouse is number 3. Shane Churla is the Stars player. Watch the stick of Rouse as they come together. Rouse gets his stick up. Looked like he might have caught him in the ribs a little bit. Churla didn't like the feel of that, and that was just after he had taken a tremendous hit. That tremendous hit I'm talking about came from Keith Primo. All 6'4", 220 pounds of Primo, a tremendous shoulder hit on Shane Churla. He's handed out a few in his day, hasn't he?
I think he was saying he got hit in the lower ribs, Joe. That
is that where it was?
Not appreciating that at all. 3:17 remaining here in the first period. We're going to have, I believe, coincidental penalties here to Doug Smolik there for the Dallas Stars. And Dino Ciccarelli. So that means, again, we have 4 skaters aside, which, as you pointed out, should be advantage Detroit, but the Stars have a 4-on-4 goal, and this shot by Shepard steered aside by Moog. Ludwig rolls it back behind his own net. Mike Lawler has it there. Lawler goes to Gagne. Primo, Shepard, Lidstrom, and Coffey, the 4 skaters for Scotty Bowman. Shepard tried to go to Primo, but he was all tied up by Todd Harvey and spun around. A giveaway here by the Stars, a steal by Lidstrom for Primo. Primo at the top of the circle, sends it back to Coffey. Coffey at the faceoff dot to Lidstrom. Wanted to shoot it right away, now dumps it toward the net. Another penalty coming here against the Stars, and we're going to see a 4-on-3 skating advantage for the Red Wings with 2:44 left here in the first.
And that was in front of the net. Ray Shepherd ended up getting taken down by Mike Lawler, and the Wings on the 4-on-4 looked like they were on the power play. And finally, Lawler takes out the feet of Ray Shepherd. And what this means now is that Detroit will have a 4-on-3 for the next 1 minute and 27 seconds. And this is a difficult situation now for Dallas, leading 2-0. Only 2:44 to go in this first period. They played pretty well in this first period, but they're going to have a tough task now keeping Detroit off the scoreboard.
Shots are 11-5 Detroit, but the stat that counts for Bob Gainey and his club, they lead it 2-0. So it'll be Primo, Shepherd, Coffey and Lidstrom for Detroit, Evason, Ludwig, and big Kevin Hatcher for the Dallas Stars. Big face-off here. Evason, good job to win it. That'll get the Stars one clear as Hatcher sends it all the way around.
And more than likely, this will be an excellent test for Andy Moog, the Dallas goaltender.
Here is Coffey with speed through the neutral zone, gets it to Shepherd. Back to Coffey at the line. He looks toward Lidstrom, goes back to Shepherd instead. Back to Coffey for a one-timer, misfired on it. Now here is Lidstrom trying to get it out in front. It was blocked and cleared over the glass and out of play. Last touch by the Dallas Stars. And the faceoff will stay in the Dallas zone. A youngster who likes Andy Moog. It's 2-0 Dallas.
You know those people at Radio Shack? Those friendly, knowledgeable people you rely on? The people who help you figure it all out and explain how to hook things up and make them work? Those people who help you find your way through the maze of modern technology. Ever wonder how they get that way? They start young. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
We're at Reunion Arena, about 90 degrees outside the last couple of days and not much cooler inside. And the Stars have heated up the action here in this first period of Game 4. They lead it 2-0. Dave Strader along with Joe Micheletti, and a happy Mother's Day again to all the moms watching on your special day this afternoon, Fox NHL Sunday, our second weekend of playoff coverage. Here's a steal by Evason. He'll play it right back the other way. 4 skaters for the Red Wings, 3 for the Dallas Stars for another 35 seconds. That's when the Smolik and Ciccarelli penalties will end, and the Wings will still have about 30 seconds of a 5-on-4. Fedorov into the zone for Coffey. Goes back to Yzerman. He's running too hard. Stars able to clear it off the stick of Coffey. Coffey back to play it now. Backhands it for Fetisov. Fetisov carries into the Stars zone. Goes deep on Cavallini. Now rolls it back out to the line for Coffey. Across a one-timer. Fedorov right on the save by Moog. Good one-timer there, Joe, but Andy Moog had plenty of time to get himself in position and see that shot all the way.
Well, the 4-on-3 has lasted 1 minute and 29 seconds, and that was the first shot on goal for Detroit. They moved the puck around very well, and the long shot from Fetisov, and there was Moog, but again, no one in front. Fedorov, I should say, ended up with the shot. That was the pass from Coffey, the puck rolling a little bit, but Fedorov still got plenty on the shot, but Moog was in perfect position to not only stop the shot, but hold on to the rebound.
So the face-off, as you see, to the left of Andy Moog, and we're down to 6 seconds left in those coincidental penalties. To Smolik and Ciccarelli, who probably will go right to the play unless there's a whistle.
And now an important face-off, though. Even though there's only 6 seconds left, should Detroit win the face-off cleanly, they could easily get a good scoring chance.
Now, the last time there was a face-off deep to the left of Moog, it was Evason who won it from Primo. We'll see if big number 55 can lean down on that stick and find a face-off win here. Again, Evason able to beat him cleanly on the draw. Again, Hatcher with the hard clear around the boards, and so now it's a 5-on-4 with 30 seconds left in the Lawler penalty. Just over a minute left here in the first period. The Stars with a 2-0 lead. Coffey with speed. Had it knocked off of his stick. Ciccarelli recovers, dumps it back behind the net. Kevin Hatcher is there. And with Coffey in deep, nobody at the left point. Hatcher able to send it back down the ice.
Dallas deserves a tremendous amount of credit in this first period. They've done everything well. They've played physical. Their penalty killing has been outstanding, and Moog has been there to make the saves when he's had to.
Here's Coffey, cross-ice pass, tipped by Hatcher. It's out to center ice. Could be a break here. Lawler out of the box, and coming across was Coffey to make the defensive play. Here is Shepard. He's into the Star zone. Gets out in front, and then it rolls off his stick as he tried to go to the forehand. He had Moog beaten, and the puck just rolled off his stick. Center ice, the Stars coming back. Mike Donnelly is checked by Lidstrom. Here's Ciccarelli. 25 seconds left in the period. Stars get to it, and Ludwig able to clear. Mike Ramsey now up the left side for Erie off of his stick, recovered by Paul Cavallini. Knocked down center ice, and Erie dumps it back into the Dallas zone. Ludwig racing back after it. He's given a bump by Yzerman. Stars try to clear it around. Konstantinov held it in. 5 seconds left in the period. The Stars try to eat it, but it's dug out of there by Yzerman. Wheels and fires the shot just as the horn sounds. And we had some extracurricular started just as the clock was ticking down.
Well, if you want to find Dino Ciccarelli, just look around the net. That was Ciccarelli in front with Paul Cavallini.
Well, that's the end of the first period with our score. Detroit trailing the Dallas Stars 2-0. We'll send it back to JB in Hollywood after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Fox NHL Sunday, the Stanley Cup Playoffs, brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. By MCI Proof Positive. When it comes to long-distance savings, there's no question about it. And by Coast Deodorant Soap. That bold scent and big lather make Coast the eye-opener.
TV's wickedest ladies are teaming up.
We have a mutual enemy.
For revenge.
He's trying to kill me.
She set me up. A brand new Melrose Place Monday.